Good evening and welcome to the regular Glendale Transportation and Parking Commission meeting of October 27th, 2025. My name is Marina Gaboyan. I am the clerk of the commission and I would like to read the following statement. For public comments and questions during the meeting, please call 818-937-8100. City staff will be submitting these questions and comments in real time to the appropriate person during this meeting. I will now call this meeting to order. The time is 6:07 p.m. Item 1A, roll call. Commissioner Bartusoff?
Here.
Commissioner Bonston?
Here.
Commissioner Ordubegian?
Here.
Commissioner Shahbazian? Commissioner Avagian?
Present.
Student Commissioner McCurchin? Student Commissioner Torres?
Here.
Item 1B, flag salute. Please rise for the flag. Item 3, posting of the agenda. The agenda for the October 27, 2025 regular meeting of the Glendale Transportation and Parking Commission was posted by October 24, 2025 before 5 p.m. on the bulletin board outside of the working space located at 2425 Old Brick Road, Glen Allen, VA 23060, in addition to on the bulletin board outside of City Hall. Item 3, approval of minutes. Minutes of the Special Transportation and Parking Commission meeting on September 15, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll approve the motion to approve the minutes.
I can second it.
Okay. It has been moved by Commissioner Ordubegian and seconded by Commissioner Bonston to approve the minutes. Commissioner Bartusoff?
Yes.
Commissioner Bonston?
Yes.
Commissioner Ordubegian?
Yes.
Commissioner Shahbazian? And Commissioner Avagian?
Yes.
Okay. Item 4, presentations and appointments, selection of chairperson.
I have a nomination.
Commissioner Vagian, if I could introduce the item very quickly. Members of the commission, this commission will recall that 2 meetings ago, the commission set to a date certain, October 27th, that's today's date, selection of its regular chairperson after Commissioner Avagian's term as chair concluded in August. You had a chair pro tem at your last meeting, and this is the date that the commission established by motion that its chair would be selected. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Commissioner Avagian.
Oh, nice. I would like to nominate Commissioner Alec Bartusoff to serve as our next chair.
Nominations do not require a second, if that was going to be the question.
It's important to know if there's multiple nominations, we can take all the nominations up front, and then we'll take a roll to determine.
Definitely. I'm going to nominate Shauna Bonston again for the chair.
All right, I'll kick it back to the city attorney to now that we have two nominations.
Are there any more nominations? And then procedurally, when the clerk calls your name, you would state the name of the person that you are voting for the office of chairperson.
Okay. Commissioner Bartusoff?
Bartusoff.
Okay. Commissioner Bonston?
Commissioner Bartusoff.
Commissioner Ordubegian?
Bonston.
Commissioner Avagian?
Bartusoff.
Okay.
Commissioner Bartusoff has been duly elected chair of the commission.
Do I physically need to move, or can I sit here?
I would also add that at the last commission meeting, Commissioner Avagian had requested to make outgoing comments as the last chair. It's germane to this item if Commissioner Avagian wants to make any comments, or if Chair Bartusoff wants to make any comments, and then Chair Bartusoff will call the next item.
Oh, no, just congratulations. And it was an honor to serve as the chair, and it was an honor to be part of the board. I mean, in general, of the commission in general. I've worked with Commissioner Bartusoff long enough to know his dedication, and I know he's going to be an amazing chair. So, congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Avagian, and thank you to the rest of the commission. As you all know, I am a transportation planner, and one of the reasons why I'm here and happy to be chair of the Transportation Commission is that I'm very much passionate about traffic safety in our city. It's an issue that has been plaguing our city for a very long time, and one thing that resonates with me and has resonated with me ever since the city conducted their 2025 community survey is that the number one issue that residents have an issue with is traffic safety in our city. Of all the things that could possibly be a concern to residents, traffic safety is number one. So I am happy to be here as a resource to the city and to residents and constituents, as well as to my fellow commissioners. So I'm happy to be here as a volunteer to contribute to the community and to the city as we push forward on making our streets safer. And I'm happy to work with my colleagues to do that on the commission. So thanks again for your vote of confidence. And with that, we can move on to the next item.
Item 4B, terms and service of ex officio student commissioners.
Chair Bartusoff, members of the commission, this item is before you today because the terms of service to which you appointed student commissioners McGurchin and Torres conclude today by motion. The resolution that you adopted in January pertaining to the selection of ex officio student members provides at this juncture that you have, well, let me back up, you have several options. The resolution you adopted provides that you can reappoint the commissioners to the student commissioners to subsequent terms, so long as they remain eligible to serve. You can also extend their terms pending a recruitment process, or if you need additional time to deliberate or consider the issue, you can extend their terms on a temporary basis. And I would also be remiss if I did not mention that the previous selection committee established an eligibility list, which currently consists of one name who staff has contacted and confirmed remains eligible and interested in serving. And at that point, that's the conclusion of my remarks, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I would like to make a motion. I would actually like to make a motion to extend the terms of both student commissioners to June. I was on the committee and conducted the interviews, I guess maybe a year ago, leading to the October and January positions. And at the time, we had also discussed the having value in the terms concluding in the summer and beginning again in the summer, given that these are students that may stop being in school or stop residing within Glendale. During that time, our commissioners have been excellent. I would propose that we keep them on for those additional months and kind of reset that time period. It was also a very extensive and time-consuming, I'm sure, on behalf of staff and others process, and I feel confident in that. That is my motion and suggestion.
And Commissioner Bonston, if I can clarify, are you making the motion to reappoint the commissioners?
Yes, that's a better way of phrasing it, isn't it? To reappoint the commissioners until a June time period.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
The only thing I want to add is I'm okay because they've done a very good job selecting the student commissioners. As long as the student commissioners wants to serve, it's, if they're okay with it, I'm fine. And we already have a second, so.
Yeah, would you like to speak
I mean,
on?
I'd love to serve as long as I can, so yes.
I'm sorry. I don't know if the other commissioner, student commissioner, was aware of it. Does she want to continue serving, or?
Commissioner Ortebagian, she has been contacted. My understanding is that she is interested in continuing to serve.
Then we're okay.
Great. Roll call, please.
Just wondering if there's any public comment before we call the roll.
No, not on this item.
Very good.
Commissioner Bartusoff,
Yes.
Commissioner Bonston,
Yes.
Commissioner Ordubagian,
Yes.
Commissioner Avagian.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Next item.
Item 5C, 5A, amendment to the procedural rules of the Transportation and Parking Commission regarding the selection of chairperson.
Chair Bartusoff, members of the commission, I don't usually do this much talking during your meetings. As the commission will recall from our last discussion regarding the selection of the chair, the procedural rules of the commission that you all adopted by resolution provided that the term of the chair commences in August and concludes in August the following year. At your 2 meetings ago, the commission voted to waive that provision to schedule a selection of the chair for a date certain today. However, as noted in the staff report, the procedural rules of the commission cannot override the municipal code. It's a resolution of this commission. The municipal code is an ordinance of the city council, and it states that the term of the chairperson shall be 1 year. It fixes the term of the chair at 1 year. If the procedural rules were not amended, they would purport to end Chair Bartusoff's term in August next year, which they cannot do. So your options today are either as presented in the draft resolution, which is simply to say that the selection of the chair can occur at any regular meeting, or to reset the term from October to October. It's staff's recommendation that you go with the former option if for any reason the term of the chair is less than 1 year, if the person serving as chair resigns, if there is an action by the council. As you know, the panel selection process at the city council has the term of the chairperson concurrent with panelist A on the selection committee. So if that person's term ends before October, this would allow the commission to then make its selection at the next regular meeting after that ends. So it gives the greatest degree of flexibility to the commission so long as it's during a regular meeting. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding the draft amendment to your procedural rules.
Okay, do we have any questions?
I'm okay either way. You know, it doesn't matter. We can end it at October if we can amend it to be, because he's chair now, so a full year will be October. Or if you want to go back to the August again, maybe it's less burden for you, but however you want to do it, I'm fine with it.
So, Commissioner Ortebagian, to address your comment, the procedural rules cannot operate to end Chair Bartusoff's term in August. By ordinance, it would end in October unless the commission elects to remove him from his position or he leaves his position for some other reason. So the options that the commission has would either be to state that the term is from October to October, or to remove the month of selection and simply say it's during any regular meeting. By operation of ordinance, the next time it will come up is October 2026, unless Chair Bartusoff leaves his position for any reason prematurely.
I suggest the staff recommendation. I think that makes sense to do that. I would also ask, I actually found it very, very helpful to have read your full resolution because it states a lot of, obviously, the rules and restrictions of this board. So I was actually going to ask if you wouldn't mind, once the resolution is approved, providing a printed copy to us so that we can have as a reference.
Absolutely, Commissioner Bonston, and for reference of all in attendance today and all who may be watching at home, the only revision is the red lines. The existing text of the resolution is provided in full because that is the text of the procedural rules, but only the provision in red is being amended. The rest is carryover language that the commission has already adopted.
I did such good homework that I just read the whole of it, and I found it very helpful, actually, so thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, any other comments or questions?
Is there a
Okay.
motion?
Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to go with the staff recommendation and make it a 1-year term, or to adjust it to an October 1-year term. Am I phrasing it correctly, or
I
how?
think the staff recommendation is to go to any meeting as needed, and that's different from the 1 year, October to October.
Okay, then that's just making a motion to go with the staff recommendation.
Great. Do we have a second?
I'll second it. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I don't see any comment cards on this item. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bartusoff,
Yes.
Commissioner Bonston,
Yes?
Commissioner Ordubegian,
Yes.
Commissioner Avagian.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Next item.
Item 6, informational reports. 6A, Public Works Engineering Division Traffic Engineering Section Overview.
Yes, Chair. So previously, earlier this year, we provided an overview of the parking section, and at the request of the commission, we are now back to provide a overview of the traffic engineering section. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to our project manager, Tommy Chow.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Tommy Chow. I'm a project manager for Public Works Engineering. This presentation will provide an overview of the Public Works Engineering section, who we are, what we do, and some key projects we're working on. We manage the city's traffic operations and safety programs, from synchronizing traffic signals to calming neighborhood streets. This is an informative item, so no commission action is required. The Public Works Department has 7 primary divisions, as shown on this slide: Maintenance Services, Fleet Services, Integrated Waste Management, Transit Operations, Administration, Facilities, and Engineering. The engineering section is part of the traffic engineering section is part of the engineering division. The engineering division consists of 7 primary sections, as shown on the slide. We are responsible for keeping Glendale Street safe and moving smoothly. Our team coordinates over 245 traffic signals citywide and address day-to-day traffic requests from the public. We also review developmental plans, permits, and implement various safety improvement projects throughout the city. Our goal is to keep the city moving safely and balancing the needs of the drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists. In 2012 and 2014, the city reorganized its departments, bringing the traffic engineering section under the Public Works Engineering Division. As part of this change, the team was reduced from 10 positions to 6. While this smaller structure has improved coordination with our transportation and engineering partners, it also meant our traffic staff must manage a wider range of responsibilities. Today, our 6-member team is made of skilled traffic engineers who manage everything from traffic signal timing, neighborhood traffic calming requests, to major capital improvement projects. This slide shows only a portion of our responsibilities. We coordinate traffic signal timing and quickly fix signals to minimize congestion. We design and review street layouts, including lane markings, crosswalk, and bike lanes. We also manage public inquiries, school zone safety measures, grant funding efforts, and much more. We stay very responsive to community concerns about traffic. This slide shows 12 of the most common requests that we receive from residents. Since 2020, the section has handled thousands of service requests from residents and businesses. For example, we receive almost 800 requests to install new or modify existing curb markings, and about 824 requests for new signs. We also process close to 200 traffic calming requests and 119 crosswalk requests. One of the major roles we have is reviewing plans for new developments and construction projects. When a new development is proposed, we study how it might affect nearby traffic. This often involves a detailed traffic impact analysis. We also examine site plans to make sure elements such as driveways, parking circulation, and walkway meets our city standards. And for any construction within the public's right-of-way, we review the traffic controls plan to ensure the safety of both workers and the public around the work zone. Our engineers also design and implement permanent traffic control improvements. For example, we evaluate when a new traffic signal is warranted at an intersection and prepare the signal timing and phasing for it. We also create striping plans as well, including lane lines, bike lanes, and pedestrian crosswalks. These designs help traffic move through Glendale streets and ensure that road markings and signals are clear and safe for all users. Improving traffic safety is a core part of what we do. We implement various pedestrian and bicycle safety measures like high visibility crosswalk and SCU zone signs and markings to slow drivers down around SCUs. We also are exploring new technology, for instance, participating in a pilot speed safety program, which will automatically cite vehicles traveling 10 miles above the posted speed limit. The traffic engineering section has drafted and finalized the local roadway safety plan, which is a comprehensive plan that creates a framework to systematically identify and analyze traffic safety related issues and recommend projects and countermeasures. Our section keeps Glendale traffic running and in sync. We work with a contract signal maintenance company to routinely service the signals and quickly repair them if there's a malfunction. This includes not just the signal at the intersection, but also flashing pedestrian beacons and electronic speed feedback signs throughout the city. The Glendale traffic signal is a valuable asset. Replacing all the signals and related equipment will cost over $150 million. These devices are built to be durable, but they still require diligent maintenance and occasional repairs. If the traffic signal goes out or if the detection sensor fails, we act quickly to fix and keep the intersection running and safe. The Glendale Transportation Management Center is the operational hub that manages and monitors the city's entire traffic signal network. It oversees 151 of the 245 signals and uses fiber optic communication, CCTV cameras, and real-time monitoring tools to manage traffic throughout the city. The City of Glendale Neighborhood Traffic Calming Program aims to enhance safety and livability on residential streets. The program focuses on reducing speeding, discouraging cut-through traffic, and improving conditions for pedestrians and bicyclists. The goal is to create a safer, more comfortable neighborhood street while maintaining reasonable access for circulation for all users. To enforce the speed limit with radar, state law requires cities to conduct engineering and traffic surveys on our major streets every 5 to 7 years. Glendale has 95 roadway segments that needs these surveys to keep the posted speed limits legally enforceable. We recently identified 29 segments where the surveys were expiring in 2024 and 2025. We conducted an update of those speed surveys and found that 21 of those streets in Glendale qualified for a lower speed limit than before. We also actively seek outside funding to expand and improve Glendale's transportation infrastructure. Our staff applies for competitive grants such as the Federal Highway Safety Improvement and California Active Transportation Programs. Winning these grants have brought in funds for new traffic signals, pedestrian crossings, bike lane projects, and other critical improvements that might not be possible with local funds alone. The city has a number of projects actively in progress right now where the traffic engineering staff either manages or provide continuous support. We help keep projects moving forward, such as the La Crescenta improvement and the downtown Glendale signal and mobility projects. We also develop, implement, and conduct public outreach meetings for projects such as the citywide traffic and mobility study, and the Safe Route to School projects. Our responsibilities span the full cycle of a project, from the earliest stages such as scoping, modeling, and design review to the final steps such as procurement, field deployment, and performance monitoring. EB 645 authorizes 6 cities in California, including Glendale, to participate in a pilot program for speed safety cameras. After months of outreach and comment, we finalized and published the impact report and use policy, and narrowed down the initial 16 candidate locations to 9 systems. We anticipate having a signed contract or starting deployment in late 2025 or early 2026. To learn more about Glendale's speed safety program, you can visit the website shown on this slide. So the TPC role, the TPT is established by the Glendale Municipal Code. The Commission provides recommendations on transportation and traffic projects, including roadway safety, transit, and parking programs. The Commission's responsibility also includes reviewing environmental impact reports and traffic impact analysis for projects with potential significant transportation and parking impacts. The Neighborhood Traffic Calming Program, which was adapted by City Council, delegates the authority to approve specific traffic calming measures to the TPC. So, I wanted to show you this picture that shows a glimpse of Glendale traffic management back in 1931. This historic photo shows the intersection of Broadway and Brand nearly a century ago. You can see a simple stop-and-go signal on the corner controlling the intersection. Traffic was much lighter then, and technology was very basic compared to today. It's fascinating to see how much the street and traffic controls has evolved since then. Here's another fun fact and a historical photo. We found this photo of Brand Boulevard facing Broadway that shows that we always had angled parking on Brand Boulevard. So in closing, we want to thank you for listening to our presentation. We appreciate the Commissioner's support and feedback with our traffic calming efforts. Together, we'll continue working to improve mobility and safety on Glendale streets.
Great, thank you very much for the presentation and welcome to the Commission. I do have a comment card for 6A, so if that's okay with the Commission, I'll take the speaker first and then we can move forward with questions and comments. So I'll go ahead and call up Cameron Nadler. Welcome to the Commission, and you have 3 minutes? Yes, 3 minutes. Welcome.
Wonderful. Hello, Commission. How are you guys doing tonight? Thank you for letting me speak. Wanted to touch base quickly on the traffic calming measures. I live on Chevy Chase, and I'm not sure if any of you have heard any of the past City Council meetings. I've spoken at several of them regarding that. So far this year, there have been 5 or 6 vehicles just in the 2300 block of Chevy Chase damaged and or completely totaled. My neighbor lost a vehicle in February. My mom lost her vehicle in June. I had a car crash into my yard and rip out 300-year-old sycamore trees doing roughly 80 miles an hour at 3 in the morning. My neighbor across the street ended up with a car in his yard not too long ago. A neighbor up the street from me just a few weeks ago had a car crashed into on the street, parked, no issue, and other neighbors have had cars crashed into. They lost 2 cars in one go a few months ago. People fly up and down Chevy Chase doing astronomical speeds, and I've talked to the police department and city council and brought it up as well to this commission as well, courtesy of Alec. Thank you for the outreach. But something should be done to deal with this situation, because this isn't normal for a residential neighborhood to be having cars doing 80 miles an hour on a small, narrow, winding mountain road. I understand it. I have a fun car. It's entertaining, but not in that area at all. And this is an everyday, every night occurrence. Glendale PD was out there shortly after the accident in late August, and I timed for an hour. They got 10 to 12 cars just in front of my house alone, one of which illegally overtook me doing about 50 to 60 miles an hour right in front of a police officer. This is a normal, everyday occurrence. City Council has said that speed lumps or some sort of bump of some sort, like in the photos that were presented earlier. Those aren't doable because it's an emergency route, but those kind of measures are in place in other parts of the city, in other cities across the country. I'm from Honolulu. We have one road that runs around the entire island. We have 43 speed bumps from one town to the northernmost points of the island. All those neighborhoods in there have one way in and one way out. There's 43 speed bumps between them. And that is a major, major thoroughfare. Everyone on that side of the island has to go that route. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. So to say that this is, you can't do speed humps of some sort, or lumps, or tables, or whatever the proper term is, doesn't in my head seem like an adequate response, and something should be done to try and get something in place to slow people down. Everyone in my neighborhood has been pounding the pavement over the last 20 years saying, can we please do something? And the city's, no. You know, and so it's someone's going to end up getting killed, and we want to avoid that. So, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron. Thanks for coming. Okay, I will open it up to questions.
Can I ask a quick question? I've seen a couple of your encounters at City of Glendale. Did they provide any solutions for you besides the speed humps? Yes, please, if that's okay.
We shouldn't be having back and forth, so.
This is, yeah, I mean, if it's okay with you, but, you know.
Does staff?
The staff knows if there's any solutions being provided to the gentleman and the neighborhood within the Chevy Chase?
So we have received emails from the speaker,
Okay.
and staff is evaluating. Currently, we don't have a proposed solution, but it is on our radar, and we are looking at it.
Again, it's the same story. Yeah, let me see what, go ahead, Pastor.
Chair and Commissioners, I wanted to mention that you're familiar with the AB 645 Speed Safety Program, and one of the 9 locations that's going to be deployed is on Chevy Chase between Lilac and Sinclair. So we're hoping that makes a significant difference as people enter and exit the Chevy Chase Canyon. There will be one of these speed enforcement cameras out there that'll capture violations 24 hours a day.
But no speed bumps?
No
Is
speed
that out
hump-
of the question?
No speed humps for the time being. Again, I think what was mentioned, it's an emergency response route. So it's something that we closely coordinate, of course, with fire department. And in cases like this, where there's only one main entry road in and out, fire department is sometimes hesitant to go with speed humps or speed lumps
Got it.
because it impacts their response time.
But how about the lighted stop signs? Would that help the situation? Because I think this happens at night or it happens all day long. I mean, something must be done, you know, I mean.
Yeah, we're hoping that, again, the speed safety program, it's in the end, from what I understand, speeding is the issue, right?
Yeah.
And so this speed safety system, that's what it's set up for. It's to capture violations 24 hours a day. It's better than any police force because, again, it'll be out there for
It's going
24
to
hours
be
a
camera
day.
implemented there?
Yes, for both directions, and it'll capture speeding anywhere from over 10 miles per hour and above.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions or, we'll do questions and comments from the commission. I have I'll give you a little bit more time because I have a couple comments. Again, thanks for the presentation. One of the things that I was curious about is the neighborhood traffic safety program or traffic calming program. I recall a couple of years ago looking at the program and seeing that it hasn't been updated in a while. Can you bring me up to speed on if there's been any changes, advancements, improvements to not only the way in which the community can request something, but also the tools at your disposal to address those concerns?
Yes, Chair Bartoshov and members of the commission. The last 2 updates of the traffic calming program were in 2018, where we incorporated a different percentile, or made it easier to qualify for speed humps for locations that were near parks and schools. And in 2023, there was another update where we incorporated a new traffic calming measure tool, which is the always stop in certain conditions. For example, on those streets that we just mentioned, that is on an emergency response route, this offers another possibility and another tool in putting in a stop sign. And so those were the last two. And as far as making data more accessible or easier, one thing that has been really helpful for us is we have a GIS platform for our data now. So instead of asking for data and looking it up, we have it all available to staff on a GIS platform. So that makes it easier because residents calling in can talk one-on-one with the traffic engineer on the phone, and this information is readily available at our fingertips.
Great. I'll let you do that in a second. I have a couple more questions about that. I know, for example, I'm trying to figure out ways to reduce the barrier to entry. And I'm thinking about multifamily blocks where somebody is requesting a speed hump. So I'm specifically curious if the barrier to entry for multifamily blocks can be reconsidered the same way that you do with schools and parks, because it's very different for a single family residential block that has only 20 households to get whatever requisite signature requirements than it is to have those signatures collected on a street with 100 residents. So I think that is a big deterrent, and something that from an equity perspective is not something that I would like to see changed. So I know this is just information only, but something for the team to consider is how are we addressing those requests that come in on multifamily roadways. And then the other thing, I was kind of alluding to this, and it kind of touches on what the speaker had said earlier, is I'd like for the program to include speed tables. So just for the public's awareness, a speed table is different from a speed hump, technically. They are designed to be on faster roadways and can be on multi-lane roadways. So I've seen them in the city of Los Angeles where I work. There's plenty of examples throughout the city of Los Angeles. And I'd like to see the city of Glendale, if not roll it out and include it as part of the traffic calming program, to pilot it in one location. And I've spoken with Chief Brooks about this personally. I didn't want to spring this here without his awareness of it. And it's my understanding that staff is open-minded to the idea of it being piloted somewhere, so long as Public Works is taking the charge on that. So I hope that we can test that out somewhere, whether it's on Chevy Chase to see if it's viable, or another location in coordination with the fire department. But I do see them, Fern Lane, I don't know if they're technically speed tables, but Fern Lane has a lot of traffic calming measures on the way up to the sports complex, both in terms of speed humps or tables, whatever they are technically. There's roundabouts, there's chokers or curb extensions at key intersections that really slow down traffic as they're going up and down that very steep roadway. So that's what I'm hoping, that we can see some changes that will reduce barriers for people to participate in the program. And then generally, I am more interested in understanding how this is more data driven. We have so many plans that have been adopted by the city, whether it's the local roadway safety plan or the pedestrian plan. We know where the most dangerous streets are in our city. And through our Vision Zero plan that's in draft form. All of that data, we have that. It shouldn't be new to anybody. I feel like these precious resources in the current fiscal situation that we're in, we should be dedicating those resources to the most dangerous streets in our city. And that can be done in a data-driven way. That's it for me. Any other questions or comments?
I just wanted to ask about the date of those cameras. Do you know when those cameras going to be placed?
Yes, Commissioner Ordobegian, we're aiming at spring next year. So right now we're evaluating what our procurement process is going to look like. We were waiting for the city of Oakland to execute their contract, which they did. And we're currently evaluating to see if we can enter a cooperative agreement to use their contract to facilitate moving forward. But if we're not able to do that, we also have prepared a draft RFP to be able to go out to vendors. So we're in that process, and we're hoping to get really the project in the ground by, say, spring of next year.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to articulate a comment. Let's see. I just feel it. Well, I appreciate this report very much. I learned a bit, and I've previously commented on some of the traffic calming measures. I think that sometimes street humps are overused, and bulb outs or sidewalk extensions are kind of underused. But I've already made those comments before. I had a kind of a random question in reading the report on page 6. I found two things very interesting. One is that in talking about, and I don't think I've ever read a write-up of what the Transportation Commission does, so it's informative. But it mentions that we review environmental impact reports. I found that interesting because I don't know that I've ever read an environmental impact report as a commissioner. So I'd be welcome to do that. I don't know if that's kind of older information or if that's something that comes to us less frequently these decades. That's kind of a comment. And then the question I had towards the end of the page, it says, in addition to its traditional responsibilities, the TPC has also been assigned to complete the public participation component for all Measure M sub-regional funding programs. And I was curious what that meant, that we are the public participation component. Does that mean we hold the hearing, or I guess what does that mean?
Good evening.
Hi.
Chair Borchstuff and members of the commission. That is a good question. So for the Measure M public participation, that is a requirement that Measure M has stipulated cities to do for any projects that go before approval. Many years ago, I want to say about 4 to 5 years ago, the city decided that the Transportation and Parking Commission was the proper body for the city to bring forward these public participation components for the board to review, offer your feedback. It also provides the community with the opportunity to come and speak on matters. Quick overview, Measure M Subregional is a competitive program. It requires a multi-agency benefit for the agency to benefit from it and to receive that funding on a yearly basis. It doesn't have any sunset clause, unlike Measure R subregional funds. And so anytime we bring a project forward, there have been only 2 projects so far. One of them is Victory Boulevard, which has Measure M. And the other project is the Honolulu Avenue project. Both projects were brought forward to the commission for your input as well as the public's input. And anytime we bring a new project forward, we'll come before you to review and advise us on that.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I think that concludes my motley of a couple random comments. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Great. Well, thank you again for coming and for the presentation. We'll move on to the next item.
Item 7, oral communications. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. The commission may question the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. There are no public comments at this time.
I have one. I got it. Oh, on the phone. Okay, great. Great, thank you very much. Okay, we'll take the speaker, Edmund Hakopian. You have 5 minutes. Welcome.
Hello, commissioners. Thank you for your time. Can I get the time?
Give us 1 second and we'll start your timer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I sent you, hello, my name is Ejmin Hakobian. As you mentioned earlier, the community survey showed the driving in city of Glendale is not a safe thing to do or be a pedestrian on the street. So I've listened to multiple transportation committee meetings, city council meetings on this topic. And every time I see our staff talk about education, engineering, and enforcement elements to this problem. There seems to be a lot of time and money allocated to education and engineering. But whenever there's a conversation on enforcement, the point that increasing enforcement will disproportionately impact the low-income community comes up. And that follows with the conversation on equity and how that's not equitable to the residents of city if we increase enforcement. I think, in my opinion, enforcement is the most important element to this problem. Increasing enforcement should be prioritized. However, I was looking around to see how we can make this, the conversation on equity and disproportional economic impact to low-income residents could be resolved. So I was looking at different ordinances, and the one that I caught my eye was City of Las Vegas. What they do is once a year, if you commit for first-time people who get into speeding tickets, there's a limit to that. It's not like you can drive 80 miles an hour on Glen Oaks, get caught, and then have it dismissed. If you are going 10 mile an hour over the speed limit and you have a clean record and you're a good driver, what happens is they allow you to turn that into a traffic ticket and you need to take a course. But that kind of eliminates the burden on the residents because that's not going to impact your record, then your insurance is not going to go up. I provided a little bit of detail in my email and we will share it with you. So what I'm asking you to kindly request for the commissioners to assign appropriate staff members to review the Las Vegas model and the Nevada Assembly Bill 116 for reference, draft a proposed local ordinance consistent with California Vehicle Code provisions, and present the findings and preliminary draft for the commission review and discussion. I think this is very important. We can do all the engineering in the city. We can do all the education. If you're not enforcing, that means you don't have the laws on the book. You're legalizing an act that should not be legal if you're not enforcing it. And I think the 80-20 rule applies to crimes and habitual people who habitually speed when they're driving. I think the number of people who drive fast in the city is not as big as we think. I think the same individuals are doing it because there is lack of enforcement. So I hope this can be taken up by the commission and it can be agendized in the future. I'm happy to answer any questions, or you can contact me with my email. Thank you.
Thank you, and I do notice for the viewing audience, a copy of the email was provided, so we do have your contact information and appreciate the write-up, and we'll do our due diligence to review your request and take a look at it. Thank you for coming. Okay, next item.
Item 8, commission staff comments and updates.
I have a question to ask. I don't know if this is the right time. I guess this is the only time left to do so. I was looking at our schedule of the meetings, and you guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Looking at the meetings, and then our last meeting this year is December 22nd. I believe that last year we had postponed that meeting, but that was on the agenda. We voted to postpone it because it was like right around Christmas. I don't know what we're gonna be doing this year, so I just wanted to ask ahead of time to understand if we're planning to postponing it or not, and if we need to put a request to put that on the agenda if we're postponing it.
That's a good question. Are we anticipating a December meeting? Do we need to talk about the scheduling of a December meeting?
So I was going to mention that, so thank you, Commissioner Avagian. I was going to mention that during my comments. So I was going to remind the commission that we are doing polling for, and I believe we have solicited quorum for the special meeting on November 3rd. And I was going to inform the commission that we don't have any substantive items for December, and staff is recommending that we're going to cancel that meeting. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So so we don't have to move second or anything to add that on the agenda for next meeting.
Typically, when we don't have any substantive items, staff typically just sends a notice of cancellation because there's no items to discuss.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
And because you mentioned it, Mr. Hernandez, just for the viewing audience, can you explain why we're meeting this coming Monday and what might be on the agenda, if you're able to share that information at this moment?
Yes, the primary intent of the special meeting on the 3rd is to go over the Montrose parking study. That's it.
Okay, great.
Can you tell me a little bit about it? What do you mean by parking study?
So obviously this is not an agendized item. This is staff comments. So this is the analysis that's being done by Transpo. So this was awarded by the council. See if I have the date right here. In 2024. So we awarded this, and now this is just the conclusion and the report of that study. So I believe that they have met with the Montrose Parking Shop Association. They have given them some updates, but obviously when we come before the commission, we will give in details of the actual study, the findings and the recommendations.
And just for clarification, this is a parking utilization study or demand study?
It covers multiple. It's parking utilization, and there's other elements to it as well.
Okay.
I'm just not very clear here right now, because about a year ago we had, is that the one you're talking about City of Glendale wanting to put lightings and, by Glendale Water and Power, or is this?
So as I mentioned, it's centered around parking. So obviously this is not an agendized item. This was just to give the commission an update, but if you like, Commissioner Ortebegian, we can provide further details.
Please, I would love that.
Okay, great. And then just on this item about agendizing and calendars, I think it'd be good practice for us to get like a good understanding of what's forecast for council on items that pertain to the things that we discuss as a transportation commission. I do know, and correct me if I'm wrong, the roadway design guidelines are slated for council action, I guess. 2 weeks from now or a week from now. Is that correct?
November 18th.
18th.
Yes.
Okay. That would be just one. I happen to know that just personally, but I think it'd be informative for the commission to be made aware of when items such as that is going to council. And then I'm just thinking forward, is there really nothing that would be of interest to the commission between now and if we're canceling our December meeting, when would our next meeting be? Is it January, or are we skipping entirely and going to February?
So it's every other month on the even months.
Okay.
So if there was an item that came up between now and then, we could potentially agendize for a special meeting in January. But right as it stands right now, there is no item that is urgent that cannot wait.
Okay. I guess
Sorry.
I'll just say real quick, as the chairperson, I reserve the right to request that we have agendize a special meeting, just because I know that there are a lot of heavy items that are going to council. I don't know what those will be between now and January. We're not privy to what those items are at any given time. So if there's something that I feel needs to be discussed as a commission between now and January, I'm going to ask staff and ask the commission to potentially come in and have a discussion about those items. So if I'm speaking out of bounds, please correct me, but I guess I'd like to have an open dialogue with staff as to what those items are and when they're going to council. Does that make sense?
It does, Chair Barchersoff, and I think maybe for context, my recollection last year is that the commission had determined, and this is just my recollection offhand, that a quorum might be difficult to establish on the date of the regularly scheduled December meeting, and thus a special meeting was called in the alternative because there was some doubt amongst the commission as to whether you could have you could reach a quorum on that date. Certainly, if something arises that the director doesn't currently have on our roster of pending matters, the commission can call a special meeting either before or after the regularly scheduled December meeting.
Okay, great.
That's what actually we did last year. I remember it clearly. We did schedule something because an item came up, and then we scheduled something, I believe it was beginning of December instead of end of the December. So it was just a special meeting. And then the other one was already on our regular one after the new year.
Great. And this is happening now. We're meeting next Monday because something came up and we need to meet as a commission to deliberate. So I appreciate the flexibility both from staff and the commission to meet as needed to serve our community. Okay, any other comments from staff or commissioners?
Well, maybe on that topic, I agree that meeting as needed is helpful. I also do appreciate meeting at the regularly scheduled times where we can secure that in our calendar in advance. That's the only thing I'm worried about. And I would probably contribute to not quorum on the 22nd. So I'm like hypocritical here. And sometimes if it's like the week out, that's a little hard for me. So I personally appreciate in advance to the extent that we can to clear the calendar. And then we had also talked about, and maybe I just wanted to reinforce, if we have items to review that are substantive, I don't know what the cutoff is it more than 5 or 10 pages, that something in advance of the Friday is helpful for viewing time. So if we're anticipating a very large report, having the materials provided to us a little bit earlier.
And Commissioner Monson, that's noted. Obviously, our council requests us something similar. So I could work with staff to try to tighten the deadline so we can get it out by Thursday.
Great, thank you.
Great. And then I will just ask staff real quick. I know we had a very robust conversation and dialogue around the roadway design guidelines. We even had a council member chime in on the spirited discussion. So I'm curious, what we would expect as commissioners and as the public as to what that staff report is going to look like. I know we may not see it until just a couple days before the council meeting. I'm curious if any substantive changes have been made, if that is still in draft form, is that something staff is working on? I know you're just a couple of weeks away from presenting it to council.
So if I understand, Chairperson Bartoshov, if I understand your comments correctly, you're asking what's going to be presented at the?
I guess I'm asking what came of the conversation from this commission to staff, and did that inform the version that is now going to council?
So we do have staff available who can speak to some of the updates since the commission, but I just want to be mindful of the fact that this is not an agendized item, so I just don't want to get into discussion. I believe we can answer the question, but for the sake of discussion, I'll defer that to the city attorney's office.
That's correct. Chair Bartoshov, members of the commission, it wouldn't be for debate or decision. If you're looking for a brief synopsis can be provided now, but that would be what would be appropriate under staff comments and updates.
And that's fair, and that would be all I'm asking for.
And, I don't want to put staff on the spot, so I'm sure they can speak to some of the items, but it may not be a full comprehensive list, so we will provide what's available.
Welcome.
Good evening. Regarding the comments that were provided by the TPC, we incorporated as many as we could that were feasible. I know there were a few concerns about the inflexibility of the RDP, and so we took another look at it and we made some minor revisions to the overall, I guess, thresholds of what would be considered as an option when it comes to segment for a lane reduction. We also looked at roadway dimensions, lane widths, to see what is done, not just from a statewide, but from other cities. We looked at other cities as much as we could when it comes to their guidelines as well. So we tried our best to take your advice, take your recommendations. But when it comes to the details of it, there are a lot of small tweaks that we made, but in short, I don't think anything significantly different than what was presented to TPC will be presented to City Council.
Great, that's perfectly great summary, and I appreciate the heads up.
Sure.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next item.
Want to add one more thing. I just want to mention that our role here in the commission is purely advisory. So if we go back to that conversation that we had before, we said our basically piece, and we said exactly what we're thinking and everything else. But I think it was an extensive report that city staff has concluded. I appreciated it, and just want to know that we're basically not policy setters. So we're just advisory panel in here, and we want to make sure that it's been conveyed to them, and from that point on will be the decision of the council, not the commission. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Avagian.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I was nicely surprised when I first joined today and I saw a name, Tristan Muradian, on the screen. I didn't know that our IT person is the grandson of Sarki Muradian. Sarki Muradian was the founder of the first Armenian television station in the United States, and he contributed a lot to the community, and his impact on the Armenian film industry and television industry is tremendous. And I was just really happy to see how generations are staying in Glendale and continuing to contribute to the community, to the city. So thank you very much for being part of the city of Glendale. Tristan, I don't know if you can hear me now, or
always a pleasure working with all of you. Thank you for the kind words.
Excuse me, you didn't submit a comment card. Well,
my apologies.
I'm kidding. Welcome, and thank you for the fun fact. We all learned something new today. Okay, and with that, Mr. Hernandez, did you want to say something?
I just wanted, for the sake of the audience, just want to say that our student commissioner has arrived. She did indicate she was going to be late. She was coming from class, so.
Sorry for being late.
No, I actually wanted to say the same thing, and thank you for, I understand that you traveled essentially across the county to get here after a class, so
Yeah.
appreciate your dedication, and
Of course.
your ears might be
always here.
burning if you're curious as to what your future is.
I'm sorry, what was the question? What is it?
We voted to have your term continue to June, and we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair Partasov and the respected commissioners for this opportunity. I'm really grateful for the chance to serve as a commissioner, and I would really like to continue to contribute till January, right? Till January.
Till June.
Till
but
June.
if
Oh,
something
till
would,
June. Wow,
arise,
till June. Till June. I thought it was till January. Okay.
if something were to arise, you are welcome to conclude your.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that opportunity. Appreciated that.
Great, welcome, and thanks for coming. Okay, was that it? Anybody else? Okay, great. Next item.
Item 9, adjournment.
I'll move.
All right.
I'll second it.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.